is Impact Hall of Famer Gail Kim, and you are watching the Countdown City WrestleCast.
What is up, heels and baby faces? Welcome to another episode of the Countdown City WrestleCast. I'm your host, JC. Joining me is that guy, Tommy.
Hello.
And we got Big Mike.
What's up, guys? Let's get going. We have quite a show tonight.
Oh, yeah.
We do. We're going to spend some time talking about AEW WrestleDream and the epic show that was. We'll talk United210. We'll talk about a big weekend for RCW with honors and In Our House 2. And to do that, we have a special guest joining us. And if you're joining us in the live chat, please have your questions ready. Feel free to type them all in there. We're going to get to that discussion for sure. Please welcome the owner of River City Wrestling, RCW for short, Mr. Brandon Oliver.
Hey, guys.
Oh, what is up?
Welcome back to the WrestleCast, by the way. It's been, God, last time we talked on this show was pre-pandemic. It seems like
wow, that's true.
And actually, I saw the clip of Gail Kim at the very beginning. That was at an RCW show.
That was an RCW show. Yes, it was.
Like 7 years ago.
That was the bowling alley, right?
That was the bowling alley. I think she was the guest referee.
Yeah.
I was so excited to see her in person again and to get that clip for the WrestleCast. Was so
it is far and away the most used clip we have on the show.
I can see why. Gail Kim's awesome.
Yeah, you got to interview her. I remember that as well. So, yeah, for sure. Well, Brandon, big weekend for RCW. First off, congrats on all your success with this. It feels like so long ago we had that discussion. And to think, and I would say this on technically, River City Wrestling has been around longer than Ring of Honor, if you want to get technical with it. Because, yeah, ROH is kind of really under the AEW umbrella. But how much has changed? First of all,
they're also been around longer than TNA. Don't forget either.
That's true. Yes.
Yeah.
But we had that discussion, like I mentioned, before the pandemic. How much of a struggle was it keeping RCW going during the pandemic?
Well, during the pandemic, we didn't run any shows at all.
Yeah.
Wanted to be safe and not, I mean, nobody really knew what was going on. Everybody thought they knew what was going on, but nobody really knew what was the truth or not. So we didn't run any shows, but when it seemed like, we kind of followed WWE a little bit and like some of the other major sports. I'm watching the Dodgers right now.
Yeah.
winning 4-0 over the Mets. Once some of the major things started opening back up, we're like, okay, we could start doing shows again.
Right. And that has all led to our RCW Honors Weekend now. In Our House 2 is this weekend. Mm-hmm. Last year was the first RCW Honors event. And where did the thought of that come up for you to host that?
I mean, obviously the format a little bit is the WWE Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
And this is our version, but not calling it a Hall of Fame because I'm not even sure if the WWE should call theirs the Hall of Fame because there's no actual Hall of Fame.
They keep talking about one, but
it's more just awards and recognizing stuff that guys did for RCW and Texas wrestling, and just a way to just kind of honor them and give them a little bit of time and a little bit of recognition. So, we're excited about this class. This class is going to be pretty good.
Yeah. So let's kind of go through the names you have. I want to mention this, and don't worry, Tommy, we'll get to you.
I didn't say anything. I didn't even say anything.
I just want you to give like a short blurb. I'm sure you might have some words to say at RCW Honors about them, but let's start first with Jeremy Sage. Your just quick words. What do you have to say about him and what he meant to River City Wrestling?
So I know. I mean, gosh, the kids that were born when Jeremy Sage was the first ever RCW champion are probably in college right now.
Oh God.
Jeremy Sage, he came out of the Shawn Michaels Wrestling Academy. If you remember those old TWA shows, they used to come on Ken's 5. And they were at the Far West Rodeo.
Mhm.
Now it's Cowboys. And, he started off in a tag team called the Board of Education. He was the smartest man in wrestling. And he was our first RCW champion and really like our first top heel. And he's an awesome guy, both professionally as well as personally. He's one of my oldest friends, wrestling wise, and just an overall good guy. And so, we tried to actually induct him last year, but he wasn't available. But he's available this time. So
Nice.
So, JC, quick story. If I'm not mistaken, Brandon, his tag team partner in the Board of Education, if I'm not mistaken, JC, I'm pretty sure is a Button, because
Really?
I think my sister knew him. Talking about when they had started, I think he was like either her year or a year ahead of him, ahead of her. Like he was an older Button, but she remembers. She was telling me about it way back then that he was training, and then the Board of Education. What partner's name? Do you?
Ruben Cruz.
Okay, yeah. I'm pretty sure he was a Button.
Nice.
Way back then, so yeah.
Probably shared the halls with him at some point in our high school career. Yeah. So yeah. Alex Morosos, which for me, my first introduction to him was going to my first RCW show. That I've always really kind of associated him with that. But what can you say about him?
So Alex is a great example of knowledge of wrestling and also a great example of, because you asked me what RCW Honors was all about, and I'm getting ready to talk about a little bit about it. Alex Moroso was really the first guy that really, believe in me and really show me how to referee, basically. So when I came out of the Shawn Michaels Academy, he was the one that really kind of gave me all the nuances of being a referee, which there was a lot more than I was expecting. But and I mean, he's such an influential guy. Like if you look at it, all the referees in Texas, they've been influenced in some way, if not directly, then indirectly, because they were taught how Alex Moroso does things, and then they teach that to the other referees. So very influential. And the other part is, I mean, I'll just be honest. Alex and I had a little bit of a falling out, some time ago. But we've patched things up, and this will be the first time I've seen him in a while. And so that's kind of the other thing too, is just kind of visiting with old friends. In fact, another one I haven't really introduced who's doing the inductions, but for Jeremy Sage, Ray the Voice is going to do his.
Wow.
So,
Tommy.
Yeah.
This is going to be one hell of an event.
Yeah. I mean, it's we all love the same thing, wrestling, right? And the silliness just is silly, basically.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, Alex is a very influential referee, and like I said, you're either, as a referee in Texas, either directly influenced or indirectly influenced because it got passed down to you.
Couldn't agree more.
Awesome to hear Ray's going to be there. I still keep in touch with him because he's in my fantasy league every year. So, we're still part of that. So, yeah. And Michael Faith, who we know and love and miss dearly. God, another one of those names that was just taken way too soon. I said his name, massive. It feels like we lost so many wrestlers too soon. But I remember seeing Michael Faith in that ring. What did he mean to you, and how was he? Any stories of him backstage that you want to share, or not spoiler? I guess so.
Yeah, he's. I mean, if you saw him, I mean, the big man can move. He could do moonsaults. He could do the lion salt. Which for a 400-pound guy is unbelievable. Yeah. And he was also just an absolute professional and just an absolute sweet guy outside of the ring. He won the RCW championship a few times and tag team championship a few times. And definitely main evented a lot of shows, and as you said, untimely. Fortunately, he passed away. Actually, speaking of the pandemic, it was due to COVID related
Yeah.
during that time. So, but yeah, I mean, definitely we need to honor him. I do know that his family is coming. His son Chase, his mom is coming. So yeah, it'll be nice to have his family there.
Awesome.
And
Great
just
to
a
hear.
quick little thing too to connect to this weekend show. It's nice to see that that kind of tradition continuing of the big men who can move. You got the Hit versus Angel Camacho match. We'll talk a little bit about, but yeah, just him and Massive, and always love those guys. Obviously, as a big guy myself, to see those that could do that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Shiva, former Phoenix and tag team champion.
Mhm.
What does she mean to you?
So we first saw her actually come down with Michael Faith,
Yep.
and that's the combination there. And then back then she was Kira Maya. Now she's Shiva and reinvented herself. But I mean, yeah, you talk about one tough lady. She scares a lot of dudes. I mean, she scares me. Still beautiful, but I mean, she's tough, and
Yeah.
definitely deserving. I've seen her like help out backstage at ROW, Booker T's ROW,
Yeah.
pitching in, giving advice, helping with matches. And I've seen it in our locker room too, where she's also doing the same thing because she has more experience than the other girls. So just absolute pleasure to induct Shiva.
Awesome.
Yep.
And finally, your fan appreciation award. I got to start. How long did it take you to consider Tommy for this? Like, was there a finalist? Did you have other fans, or was Tommy always?
How
at the
many
top of this?
people had to cancel or not make it
Yeah.
to get down?
Well, what
I'm
it
just
was Tommy did cash at me.
First of all, we both know I don't have that much money.
Not anymore.
No, look, last year's fan appreciation, and that was one of the things I wanted to do with this award type ceremony. I wanted to celebrate a fan like every single year. Last year was Carl Belcher,
Absolutely
who
deserved it.
is like Mr. RCW.
He is.
And then I was like, okay, for this year, only one voice came into my head because it's supposed to be all here. And
It's in everyone's head.
Yes.
show in the area, and I mean, you got into Tommy, and dare I say, Tommy might be the biggest draw of the whole thing. Yeah, I've had more response about Tommy. Man.
I'm honored and terrified of that, by the way.
Yeah, how many wrestlers have asked to be there to meet?
How many reserve seats in the front row? That's what I want to know. I mean,
actually, no, I got a better question. How many wrestlers are there that you're clearly not telling me are going to be there? Because I know you've gotten calls from people. Let's say he's where? I'll be there.
Yeah.
Okay, let me just ask: is Lance Hoyt coming? Is Lance Hoyt there? I'm scared that Lance Hoyt will be there.
No,
Okay.
I would definitely tell you if Lance Hoyt was.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
But no, man, Tommy's been around for a long time. Has literally seen my daughter grow up. Now she's looking for colleges. I mean, Tommy remembers probably when she was born.
I actually was gonna mention this. I remember when you stopped RCW for a while right after she was born, which I remember thinking, oh yeah, man, you got family, that's all good. And then to know that that's what happened, you stopped RCW to take care of her, take care of your family, all good. Then you brought it back. We're all, oh yeah, RCW's back, hooray. You brought her in, little baby, a toddler, and she's this little kid. Now she's going to college. I think I screamed when your wife posted something about the homecoming. It was the homecoming.
Yeah.
When she posted that, I think I yelled out loud, "What is time? What is time?" Because there's no way it was that long ago when that first show stopped. It's like, oh my god, this is insane. So
Yeah, the homecoming. Yeah, when the date came over, I was already polishing the shotgun, cleaning it, ready.
How many wrestlers were there waiting for him?
Yeah,
Though? That's the
so-
more opportune question. I mean-
Wrestlers waiting for Tommy, or
No, waiting for the homecoming date to come over. Like,
How
just,
much
you
did
know,
it cost to get
yeah.
Bo Amir down from Dallas?
Shiva was already in the driveway.
that was another option. But I've teased their friends before. Like one time, I think it was like a year or two ago. Like some boy came over and he was starting to try to dry the throw out the little lip hairs.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, man, you got something on your lip, And I love it. I love being able to do that, like, you got something on your lip. And then, like, another kid we had known for a long time, and his voice changed.
Yeah.
And I was like, what's wrong? You got a cold? Or that's fun.
Oh, man, that's great.
That's fun.
These kids trying to be tough. It was like, yeah, okay, this is not working like I thought it would.
But I mean, Tommy, gosh, like I said, has been with RCW for forever, and he's the dependable. That was my bird. He's the dependable voice, and so
Do the best I can.
now he'll show up late.
But he's there, I mean,
He's there, but let me tell you, don't depend on him to be early or even on time. With Tommy, you actually have to tell him like the start time was like
Okay.
30 minutes before. Like,
Okay.
if the
You know
real
what?
start time is at 5:00, we'll be like, Tommy, you got to get there at 4:30, and then he'll show up at 5:00 and be on time.
Okay. You know what?
Okay, Tommy, RCW Honor starts at noon on Saturday. All right, so just make sure you're there. All right.
I'm going to be on time for that.
In fact, I think you could spend Friday night at Rolling Oaks. I think that's allowed now.
I really hate this show. I don't know why I do it every week. I really don't. I should just fake being sick again.
Big question here from Steady. What are the chances a chair will be thrown during Tommy's speech?
Pretty high. Oh, sorry, he wasn't asking.
Definitely
Yeah.
greater than 0.
Yeah, absolutely higher than 0.
Yeah.
No, Tommy will be okay.
All right.
He'll be fine.
But that being said, if I see any Texas treat stand up too fast, I'm cutting my speech short. I don't care how far I am into it. So,
Yeah.
and there's 4 treats, and I don't trust any of them.
Come on.
Come on, what? Nothing. No, I don't trust any of them.
You're taller than Diego. You
True.
might be able to take J-Wave.
I can take J-Wave.
The other two,
Might
no.
be able to,
Yeah,
yeah.
I can't take the other 2.
No.
I'm louder than Don Juan, which is something I pride myself on.
All right.
But I'm not more of a jerk than Marvel. Marvel's actually more jerky than I am. You know, Jason,
What did somebody say? Yeah, if you're watching, you got a question, flip it, throw it in. Oh, there we go. Hope
Thanks,
you-
Jason. Appreciate that, brother. Glad I got back up on this.
My favorite Marvel shirt is the different, like the different faces of Marvel and his different feelings, and it's just the same face every time.
He's made that same face since 2003, 2005 when I met him.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can confirm that's all factual.
You mentioned that Ray the Voice was inducting Jeremy Sage. Did you, if you're welcome to, if you want to, reveal any other inductee announcements or inductor announcements, if you will?
So Faith will be inducted by Shiva. Shiva is going to be inducted by Ryan Davidson.
Nice.
And like I said, Faith's family will be there. And they're invited to come up stage and talk as well. And then we said Ray the Voice for Sage. Alex Moroso is going to be inducted by Alfred.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Yeah, major student of Alex.
Yeah.
And then so Tommy. So speaking of all this stuff that you're talking,
Well,
man,
I'm talking all this stuff because if I'm suddenly nice to him, it wouldn't make any sense.
because Tommy's going to be inducted by Chris Marvel.
Oh my god!
Wow.
Wow.
And I'm wondering what it'll be like if it'll just.
Oh, I don't know either, and that's half the fun.
What? I mean, it might just be Chris Marvel saying, "Here's the award to Tommy," and then that's it.
Yeah.
I figure it'll go one of 2 ways. He'll roast me for 5 minutes, or he'll say, I don't want to do this. Come get your award. I'm leaving, and that's it. And either way, I will win. I don't care.
Is there any truth that he is contractually obligated to do this? Like, was he forced to,
Or did you have a lot of volunteers? That's
Yeah, I mean, hey, I'll share this much. The awardees get to pick their inductors. So,
Oh, okay.
I don't know how Tommy, again, maybe using the Cash App again, and paying Marvel to say some new stuff.
I figured I wanted someone who knew me pretty well.
is that why you couldn't go to Big Texan last weekend?
I would neither confirm nor deny that that's true. And I also wanted someone who would roast me but not destroy me. So Don Juan was out immediately.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Jason has a question, and
Does Marvel get paid by doing this?
not by me, he ain't.
I don't know. That's not what I heard on the Cash App.
Yeah.
Cash App says differently, Tommy.
Sean misspelled, but he says it should have been Calientita inducting.
Okay,
Tommy.
let me put this. Let me make this perfectly clear. If there were literally no other Texas wrestlers on this hemisphere to induct me, it still wouldn't be Cali.
Man,
I don't know. Yeah,
Wow.
I don't know why you hate her that much, Tommy.
Really?
Yeah.
You know, Brandon,
I-
let's just
really?
book. You at one point you got to book like every wrestler Tommy has ever hated in one match, and make Tommy the special guest referee. That this, at some point, just make.
First of all, Brandon ain't got a check big enough to book everyone because also because Jeff Jarrett's in AEW now, and I don't know if he can get out of that contract. So
I will also accept Tommy in a shark cage.
Yeah.
I'll take that too.
yeah.
no, because they don't just get poked with cattle prods the entire time.
Yeah.
so Otani just hit a 3-run home run.
Hey, finally got
Nice.
one. Wow.
Wow.
So what is
7-0
that?
now?
7-0?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, he launched it. I'm
So
hoping he wins.
it seems like in this series you have to score big because Dodgers won big game one, then the Mets put up a bunch of runs game two, and now this.
Yeah.
It's
Nice.
going to be a series of runs for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a huge Otani fan, and I just want him to get the championship.
Yeah.
He's really good. So
See,
yeah.
Tommy, legacy's true.
Legacy is biased, and I'm not listening to him.
Oh, God. Come on. It's legacy.
Yeah, and he's biased, and I'm not listening to him.
Okay, this is also.
Tommy probably isn't even born with time. That might actually be true.
I wouldn't doubt it. to be
Holy
honest.
crap! I
Yeah.
never even thought of that.
Actually, maybe that's what we need to figure out. How many people on the show
Well, you
may not have been born?
That's probably true.
I mean, yeah, she's in her
So
early
how old
20s.
is she?
No, I think she's 19, 20, maybe.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So
It's close.
If she's 20, then she was like 1 when I first started. If she's 19, then yeah, I think I started going to RCW just for you.
Yeah.
And then I want to bring this up since JC's on. How many people have gotten married because of RCW?
at least
Yo.
2. So for sure. Yeah. Thank you. I mean, it's one of those things that wrestling brought me to my wife, and it's amazing. So yeah.
Yeah, when we had Don Juan on the other week, he seemed like that was a mistake, or he wasn't happy about it. I don't know.
I didn't remember
That
that.
was Don Juan, but
It was all Don Juan's influence for sure. Well, I got to ask you, you've been at this for so long now. How does it feel being at the level where you can have an RCW honors or Hall of Fame type ceremony?
So that part's really cool. I'm always honest with people, and especially as more promoters come around, more than they should. But I always tell people I started earlier than I should have, and hindsight's 2020, and so I'm caring about moving forward. But if I were to sit there and say, did I start earlier than I should have? Yeah, I would admit that. But having said that, there's the but. But having said that, I mean, I've had remarkable experiences, and so it's been I don't even know what life would be like without wrestling, to be honest.
Yeah.
And without RCW and things like that. I don't even know what I've only experienced it for a few months, like you mentioned when Madison was born and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I've only experienced it like a little bit, So, but no, it's awesome. And, to hear people like Devin Carter went to RCW shows, Casey Blackrose went to RCW shows. To hear the young guys that we're working with now saying, "Yeah, man, I used to go to RCW." It's unbelievable, and like we just mentioned, I mean, there is more to two, but people that have gotten married meeting at RCW, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And so I don't take those things lightly. There was another fan, unfortunately, he passed away, but he passed away at one of the shows at Rotama Park while waiting in line. I don't know if you remember that, Tommy.
I vaguely remember hearing about that. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
You remember Tree? You know who Tree is, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
His brother passed away while waiting in line.
Wow.
No.
And so,
Wow.
I think I got
Yeah.
Hacksaw Jim Duggan to record a video for him and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I don't take any of that stuff lightly because it's just like, wow, have that sort of an impact. I'm not going to sit there and say, "Oh man, we drew thousands and thousands, brother," but to have that sort of impact within the little community, the crazy community of Texas independent wrestling is cool.
Yeah, we got a question from Bernsey. How did you decide to start RCW?
So I always knew I wanted to be a promoter. And so I was actually living in Florida at the time, and then I saw Shawn Michaels Academy opened up. And I was born in San Antonio, but I was living in Florida at the time, actually in Tampa, where pretty much all the 80s and 90s guys are. And so I packed up my Jeep Wrangler and I drove out here and went to the Shawn Michaels Academy because I thought, and I still think this, I think a promoter should know everything there is to know about wrestling. Now, that's not to sit there and say that they should be a wrestler themselves, but they should know like all the parts of a match, and they should understand psychology and also just understand kind of, what the guys are going through. I think a lot of promoters nowadays, and I'll pick on them a little bit, but I love everybody. But I think a lot of promoters these days just become Facebook friends with wrestlers, and then, oh, hey, I'm gonna run a show, and they rent the ring, and then they put it together. I believed in actually getting my ass kicked, and then actually knowing what I should know. I looked at it as a way of kind of paying dues, so to speak. And so
I think Rikishi would agree with that. On you.
Yeah, because man, I could have waited till MySpace and just befriended all these guys and been a promoter,
Yeah.
Because that seems to be the.
Oh my God, that's how I found out about the first show. I just remembered it was a MySpace posting.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I completely forgot about that. It was a MySpace posting.
That does seem to be a qualification for a lot of promoters now.
So Tommy, how bad does your back hurt now? Or
I mean, it hurt a bit this morning with the temperature change. I was like, ooh, and it's like, oh, it's colder now. Yeah.
It says, I remember watching RCW about public access at Texas State.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Texas State, man. I'm an alumni too. San Marcos is probably my favorite Texas city. So talking about when I moved here from Florida to go to Shawn Michaels, I actually lived in San Marcos and went to Texas State, and then Southwest Texas State at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So I was taking 18 credit hours and driving down to San Antonio for
what level of insanity do you have, dude?
Dedication, man.
Jeez.
Well, it was kind of fun because
there are no smartphones.
Yeah.
Admittedly, because so Shawn Michaels had wrestler trained and then like manager referee trained.
Okay.
And I was like, I'm not athletic enough to be a wrestler, and I had no. Again, I wanted to know everything, but I had no like illusions of being a wrestler. So I did the referee program. It said you only need to go 2 days out of the week, and I would fall behind because I didn't know what they did on the third day. So, on that third day, what I would have to do is I would tell my Spanish teacher, it was a Spanish class. I was like, I got an internship, and that's the golden word in college, man.
Yeah.
Well
You can
done.
pretty much, you can
Well
almost
done.
own the university if you tell a professor you got an internship. And
Yeah.
so they're like, yeah, that's great, man. And so they let me out of the class to go and do that. So, yeah.
That's awesome.
Let's see. I remember my first RC show in Kerrville around 2016-ish. Wow.
Yeah.
JC,
yeah.
do you remember ours?
Ours was at Bel Air Baptist Church. I think it's a different name now.
I believe
And
it was
it was
Texas.
Royal Rumble
Right.
weekend 2007. Yeah.
Texas Heat 3, I think, or something like
I
that.
think so. Or a Texas Explosion. It was one of those.
Explosion, one of those.
Texas
Yeah.
Explosion.
Big explosion.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It was as for me, that was really my first independent show ever. And
Yeah,
the only
same.
reason we'd heard about it, we had gone to an autograph signing at Ingram Mall for Mr. Kennedy and Mickey James. And I don't recall if I had a flyer on my car, probably because everybody put flyers on cars at
Probably
the
a
time.
fire
Yeah.
in your car.
And
Yeah.
I was like, hey, LAX is going to be there. A bunch. It was like, let's go check it out.
Yeah.
And the first match I saw, it was Gemini. I forget who was wrestling, but I heard Gemini chop a guy once, and I was hooked. To this day, I think he had the loudest chops I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah. I don't think people give indies enough credit.
No.
Now, don't get me wrong. There's some really bad stuff on there.
Fair.
But
Yeah.
I don't think they give them enough credit because, when you go to WWE, man, I mean, especially now that they're owned by TKO and all that, I mean, they're going to start hitting those UFC ticket prices. I think they may already have.
I think they have.
Yeah.
I've seen like pay-per-view ticket prices like several $1,000s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, you go to WWE here in San Antonio, you go to the Frost Bank Center. I mean, you might not get the world's best seat, and there's like no chance. There's limited engagement basically,
Yep.
unless you're super loud like Tommy is. You're not gonna have a whole lot of engagement with the talent, and then whether it's before the show or after the show or during it, and the indies actually offer you that. Like, I think it's exceptional that, and I tell people, like, man, you never know what can happen. And I mean, gosh, it was only a year ago. You come to the show and watch Maddie Mikowski.
I was just going to bring that up. I really,
Yeah.
And now she's getting a big, not a huge push, but she's getting a push on NXT. She's getting good matches. And so, that was only a year ago.
I mean, they're letting her talk, which I think is just,
look, she's the most entertaining thing about No Quarter Catch Crew. She's really bringing a lot out of them. And then to trust her with Stephanie Vecker's first NXT match. Yeah.
I mean, she's been gone longer, but like, look at Roxanne Perez.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she when she was here, she was like, the young talent, the future of everything. Now she's like probably arguably the women's champion, not just NXT, but it's like everyone's like, why isn't she on the main roster already, beating everybody else? Because she's already beaten everyone in NXT. So and I said I tell people that all the time, and it's also, you never know who will come through. I mean, when Cody Rhodes was in between places, he was at RCW.
Yeah.
Because whenever I post that picture, everyone asks me, where did you beat Cody Rhodes? I was like, he was at RCW. What was you got an indie show? You got to go to indie shows, dude.
Yeah.
I tell people that all the time.
I've always said too, like, because I coach, I'm involved a lot with youth sports right now, which is why it's been so hard for me to get to shows. My daughter plays softball, my son plays baseball, basketball, and at tournaments, and parents know that I do this show. They're always asking me, like, hey, my kid's starting to get into wrestling. Like, what is so great about independent shows? And I think, honestly, I always tell them, when you watch it on TV and you try to attend a live event, they're wrestling to the camera.
Yeah.
But for the independent show, they're wrestling in front of you to that crowd. There's so much more interaction. They're going to interact with you more. I'd tell you, it's a athletic ad lib, if you will, because sometimes you really got to on the fly, just react to what the crowd's doing as
Or if
well.
Tommy's in the crowd, they're wrestling the Tommy.
Exactly, sure. So,
And
but
like
yeah.
you said, you never know. I mean, gosh, we had Keith Lee,
Yeah.
what, 12 years ago.
Young, yeah.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Sammy Guevara, we had him when he was just a little kid.
Bieber.
Yeah.
He came out to the Justin Bieber song, and I mean, so yeah, I mean, Texas wrestling is full of great talent right now. It used
Oh,
to be like Texas wrestling 15, 20 years ago was kind of it was good in a couple of places, but right now it seems to be really booming. And and even San Antonio, I mean, you got Hybrid School of Wrestling, you got United210, you had Mission Pro up until they just took their hiatus. You have some really good options here.
Oh
I
yeah.
mean, even last week, I even messaged Corvus and said, "Hey, that TWA show, you promoted the hell out of it, and it
Yeah.
paid off." And so, yeah, there's a lot of options. There's a lot of great talent. A lot of Texas wrestling is doing a lot of cool things right now.
Yeah.
100%.
How much has, I guess I got to bring it hybrid. You brought Hybrid School of Wrestling up. How much has that been a plus for the San Antonio area and wrestling in general?
Huge,
Yeah.
huge, and it took Marvel a little bit to find his footing, but I did tell Marvel once I visited him at the current location, and I saw the way he had different rings and he had students in different shirts based on experience and things like that, and the compassion that he shows, even though he's stern, but the compassion he shows for the students. That's what I always wanted or envisioned a school would be like. A lot of the old guys think I could just beat the hell out of a guy. This is my excuse to like take this person's money and just beat them up. And if they stay around, okay, fine. Or embarrass or humiliate them or whatever. But I'm like, man, there's so much more you could do with leadership, than that. And so you could still hold people accountable and still test them, but at the same time, greatly care for them. And that's why Marvel has like 40 students right now. It's crazy when I walk in there now. I mean, the whole gym is full of wrestling students.
Yep.
So, and not only that, but they're well trained. I think Don Juan was kind of the missing piece of the hybrid puzzle because now they have a little bit more character development and promo work and stuff like that with Don Juan, and he gives that knowledge. So to me, it's the perfect school. It's the school that I always imagined. And my total compliments to them.
Nice.
Yeah, and I've said this on the show before too, but as a teacher, those kids, like when they go places, you tell them one thing, or they don't have to be told. They're on top of stuff. They're super respectful. They come shake our hands.
Yeah.
Like, they come say hi to us. But we've seen them at some places outside where they're doing stuff. Tell them one thing, and they're on top of it. They have some of the older ones that kind of keep an eye on them, but like just such great kids, such great people. And they have such a desire to be there. I think that's my attraction to hybrid and those wrestlers is so much is we love wrestling. That's why we do the show for 6 years now, but they love it. We've talked to some of them, some who spent 3 years not giving up, staying in that program to get where they are. And I love that.
Yeah, I mean, there's not too many schools, in my opinion, like it. I've never seen how Booker T trains his guys, but I mean, they're pretty loyal to Booker. A guy that I think is a good trainer that does the same thing, kind of, is Lou Gotti up in Dallas.
Yeah.
Who, if you notice, the students still talk about him, and I think students are a reflection of you. Yes, if they're talented. Yes, if they go somewhere. Yes, if they do those things. But it's also a reflection on you if they stay loyal, if they stay, a part of the program and believe in it.
Yeah.
That's the other part. They got to believe in it. They got to buy into it as well. And so, when you see that, like with Lou Gotti students or with Hybrid, they're doing a good job. They're caring for the students and not treating them, like other wrestling schools used to and probably still do around the country. That old school mentality, because that alpha male stuff is BS.
It's $1,500, and then I'm gonna kick your ass for a few weeks, see if you really want this, right?
Yeah.
I think even more so, it's a reflection too is how respectful you are backstage. And so Mike mentions, shaking hands and everything, and I remember that I've done a couple interviews there. I interviewed Massive there, and all the students were there shaking my hand, which is pretty cool. So
Yeah.
But let's get into what else you have going on this weekend. RCW in our house too. Big show. Mike, you got the card in front of you. I don't know if you want to do this match by match or how best we want to talk about this one, Brandon.
Let's go match by match. But I'm excited to be back at the Grand Event Center.
Yeah.
Even though the ceiling is limited, but if you watch it on Title Match, it looks immaculate on TV.
It does. I've watched the show
America can only do
there.
so much.
I watched a show from there on Title Match, and then I was like, okay. And then I actually went to a concert there, and I was like, looks bigger on Title Match, but still, for sure. So.
It looks, it does look bigger on Title Match, but it looks really good. It's just the lighting and the environment in there. But obviously, with the Grand Event Center, we can't compete with weddings and quinces and
Jennifer Pena shows.
Yeah, exactly. That's where I saw her,
we can't compete with. I love the owner. The owner has been super patient, and super good to us. And but he's like, man, I can't commit to a date, this many weeks out because I may get a wedding that'll drop, $10,000, $12,000, and he ain't getting that from me, man. So I totally get it, and I appreciate him, opening his facility to us when it's available.
Yeah,
that's good. That's good. So, all right, Mike, let's just kind of go through the match by match, and we can talk about it. So,
I think the first thing announced was the big 10-person tag match. On one side, you got Casey Black Rose, Alex Arsenal, Anthony Andrews, and the Pillars of Destiny. And they will be taking on Overkill, K-Jax, Jay Young, and Danny Vintage.
That's a lot of beef, man.
Yeah.
I mean, you got Overkill.
There's mountains of meat.
Yeah. You got Overkill, you got Andrews, you got K-Jax, you got the Pillars, Alex.
And I know Jay Young is young. But he's a good-sized kid himself.
Yeah,
He ain't no slouch.
I mean, that's a lot of beef in there. The Pillars have been showing like a little bit of a mean streak lately, so that's something to keep an eye on. And then of course Casey Blackrose just won the Future Legends Championship.
Yep.
And Casey Blackrose is having a breakthrough year. It seems like wherever he goes, he's doing well. And then of course Alex Arsenal has been phenomenal this year as well for RCW. So that'll be a good 10-man tag match.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm going to move on to the match I think I may be most looking forward to. As we talked earlier about the big men that can go, and I said Angel Camacho, well known at RCW, versus Hit, who is starting to make his presence felt on the San Antonio area.
Yep.
That's going to be a hell of a match. I mean, big guys that can go. So
and we were talking about Michael Faith earlier. And Angel, I mean, the first time I saw him reminded me of Michael Faith because I mean, Angel could do a splits, man. Like it's amazing. The guy's like 450 pounds and he could do a splits. It's amazing. And so he's just been awesome for us. And then Hit is coming out of the Dustin Rhodes school. I forgot to mention Dustin Rhodes school. And he's another guy with size and looking to make a name for himself. I will say for that match, you better get there early because that's probably going to be on the pre-show.
Okay.
So that's Tommy. That's for you.
That's no for you, Tommy. Just letting you know.
Yeah. So Tommy, aim to be there at 3:30.
All
There
right,
you go.
got it. There you go.
Let's see. Another
Yeah,
one,
man,
kind of
bro.
a grudge match, tag match. We got Texas Treats versus Living in Fashion.
Yeah.
We know what to expect out of that one.
Oh my gosh.
They do not like each other.
No, they don't. I mean, Don Juan. What can you say about Don Juan?
Oh, I have a lot to say about Don.
Yeah, I'm sure you do.
Nearly 20 years worth, but
You know,
Yeah.
Diego, I think, he's still a treat and training, but I mean, gosh, he's held the international title for the past year, and how long does he need to be a treat and training for? What does he need to do? But yeah, the Texas Treats will be going against Living in Fashion and Devin Carter and Sakai Living. WWE scout Gabe Sapolsky said Sakai Living was one of the guys to watch for nationally. And then Devin Carter, same thing with Casey Blackrose, just having an absolute breakthrough year. So that'll be a good match.
There's some of the people that I say a lot that like we're gonna look at them on TV one day and say we used to watch them in like these small venues and now they're like on national TV.
Oh no, we've told several of them once they hit it big, we're hitting them up for tickets and stuff. So
I'm absolutely gonna capitalize on Casey's celebrity. I'm gonna make him. He doesn't have a choice.
The other thing I like, and it got away from some of the older stuff, but I mean, obviously, Living in Fashion is part of the LGBT community.
Yeah.
But to have the actual representation and not have a wrestler play that, play the most stereotypical negative parts of that, to actually have that representation, and they're good, man.
Yeah.
They're good.
Yeah.
And so to have that is really cool to see, and just shows how wrestling is changing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, sure.
Also, hey Terry.
Terry jumped in there.
And then it looks like we have quite a few title matches going on. Let's start with the Phoenix title. Emmy will be defending against London Dior.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Emmy Camacho has also held the belt for quite a while.
She has, actually. I almost forgot that.
She's faced a series of challengers, and now she's facing London Dior, who is making some waves too. I know towards the end of Mission Pro's run, London Dior was making moves in Mission Pro.
Yeah.
So, we'll see. We'll see how that one will play out.
This is her first time at RCW. I'm trying to remember if she'd been RCW.
I think it's her.
She was in the Rumble.
She was
in the Rumble.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's see what else we got. Then we got two women's title matches. Question mark.
I love, the simple things get over, and I love it. Got over.
Question mark.
Some people aren't a big fan of it, Callie, but that's y'all posted on y'all stuff, so we use it. So one of them is Alejandra, who had gone back home for a couple weeks to do some wrestling out there. She's still listed as an RCW champion, but facing Shiva, who's going into RCW honors, and is it kismet for her to win that title that you said she's never won?
Exactly. If you think about all the things that Shiva has done, she has never held the women's championship for RCW. She's been a tag team champion, she's been a Phoenix champion, but never the top champion for the women's division. So,
which when I realized that, I was like, no, with it, no. And I was like, oh snap, she never did. So
So you might be right, Mike. I mean, it might be kismet.
And Nastico's banned from the building, apparently. I don't know if we mentioned that due to Logan Pettis. Making that. So that could definitely will play into it.
Will he be banned from RCW honors, though? That's the question. So
damn it, didn't think about that.
Yeah,
I don't know. That's a good question. He might pop out.
He'll probably be hanging out the food court right down there. So
yeah.
And then, so I guess that leads us to the other RCW women's title match, which is a explosion of the Cholas, as was recently posted. Callie and Tita, Tommy's favorite, versus the sensational savage Ridley Thorne, who they have obviously been part of a team together, but
I think Terry's
there you go, Terry. Yeah.
So
definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, can she make it her weekend? But
I love nods and throwbacks and Easter eggs and things like that. I mean, obviously, I've named several of my shows after WWE shows. Some of the art looks like old school WWE shows. But yeah, when the match was made for Ridley and Callie, I mean, I thought of the Mega Powers explode. WrestleMania 5. So here the Cholas explode.
Oh,
Look
I
who
guess
dropped in.
shitty.
we shouldn't have said his name 3 times.
Look at that.
I only say his name once, so yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
But yeah, I mean, it'll be a good match. They know each other extremely well. It's sad to see the Cholas going their own ways, but
Yeah, that's so sad. It's so sad.
It'll be interesting to see how this plays out too, because they're supposed to tag the following week at Hybrid. And Kylie has already put a little emoji over Ridley's face on that graphic.
I don't think it's going to go very well.
Yeah.
And then Ridley also asked on hers, can Callie still team with her when she takes her belt away? So it's one of WWE's favorite things is, can they coexist as a tag team?
Yeah.
And I think the answer is no here. I don't know about that.
Isn't it so sad, guys? It's just depressing.
Yeah, Tommy.
I'm sad.
Yeah, I don't know about this. And then we have the tag team titles, which Ross Von Erich will be there, but Marshall's not able to make it. But he is being replaced by second-generation superstar Jesse Funaki, son of course, Funaki, to take on the new team of Fly Def, who were very impressive at the last show. And also, of course, Tommy knows them a little bit. We both know them from BOW. They'd been there for a while. Super impressive tag team. You cannot sleep on them. They are more than capable of taking the gold.
Yeah, the first time I saw them was ROW. I mean, I follow ROW pretty close. And so, they're a phenomenal tag team. They had a hell of a match last show, and they wanted the Von Erichs right away. And originally, that was the plan, was the Von Erichs versus them this show. But Marshall cannot make it, and so we're going with a replacement. The replacement is Jesse Funaki, Sho Funaki's son. And if you haven't seen Jesse Funaki yet,
yes,
I'm telling you right now, that's a kid that you need to see right now before it gets
100%. Tommy and I actually got to see his first official match with Hybrid, and we actually interviewed him right afterwards. He's got the skill, the athleticism. 100%.
He recently had a match at Hybrid against Chase Owens, and more than once, I thought a miracle on Eckert was about to happen, and Jesse was going to pull out the win. And because my joke was, David Finlay was going to hear about that and tell Chase, "Did you let some Japanese kid in San Antonio beat you? You're out. He's in. Get him out here. He's in Bullet Club now."
I mean, if we can go back 2 or 3 years ago and say, don't miss Roxy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Go back a year ago and say, don't miss Matt Mikowski. I'm telling people, don't miss Jesse Funaki.
I can't help but agree.
Yep. Now, Nastiko, by the way, jumped in here. You may have banned me from the building, but what if I come back in unmasked? You'll never know.
Right. So if you see someone just almost as ugly as me, that's Nastiko. Get him out of the building, please.
So if someone walks in and children scream immediately, just turn around and go, Nastiko, get out of here.
Yeah.
So
security will be on high alert at the Grand Event Center.
Yeah.
And then, unless I've missed another match, and I hope I haven't, that would leave us with the world title match. And once again,
there was one.
What I missed?
Rob Love and Chris Marvel.
You are right. I knew it.
Because I'm looking forward to that.
It's the first time they've ever wrestled each other.
That's crazy.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I saw that earlier. You're right.
Amazing.
Oh my God.
Wow.
That's insane.
Yeah. So it'll be a good match.
Wow.
As many people in wrestling, you figured they would have wrestled each other at least once. It's one of those weird.
Especially their time in RCW. Yeah, all of that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
just look for a weird mask tagline.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, but Rob Love, Tommy, you said earlier about your first, or JC said, first show you went to, you heard that chop. and you were sold.
Gemini.
When Rob Love, I know, but when Rob Love chops you, man, I don't care what show you're at, you hear it, it reverberates, and you're like, damn.
Yeah.
It
So,
almost
and then,
pains me to admit it, but Rob Love's made a believer out of me.
well, yes, and then, okay, Nastigo, we're about to get to that in the title match.
Yeah.
One more big man match we got going on here.
Just two mountains of meat.
Bo Amir, the 7-foot face of fear, versus the Southside Enforcer, if you will, Stud Stash. Whew.
Yeah. That's a hell of a match.
Yeah,
It is.
You know, Bo Amir, the first time I ever saw him, I was like, okay, so speaking of Jesse Funaki, another one I want to add to the list is Bo Amir. The first time I ever saw him, I was like, wow, what a godsend. Because, he just has all the tools to be a star. And to see his progress from, being an outside guy for Lou Gotti and Angel to now being a champion. Not only that, but representing well. I think he represents the title extremely well. And he had some shoes to fill with Khan.
Yeah.
Cats crossing across my lap here.
That's all right.
But to see the progress of Bo Amir, that match with Moose last show.
I was just going to bring that up. That was probably one of the best matches like I've just seen ever.
Yeah.
Just because it was just so hard hitting. It was so impressive. With Bo Amir, I think the first time I saw him, the first thing I thought was like, where did they find him? Like where did this guy come from?
Oh man.
And it's not that he's a big guy. He can wrestle. He can go. He's not just a big dude. He can wrestle. So
his progress has been amazing.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's been amazing to see.
On a side note, would he want to play next to Wemby? Just throwing that out there.
So speaking of Khan, real quick, this is a little bit of backstage stuff, but obviously Khan was going to move out of this area, and so I gave him the choice, like who do you want to pass the belt on to, and he said Bo Amir, and so that's quite a compliment, and like I said, he's great, but he's got to go against Stud Stash, man, the pride of the South Side.
And we hate to give Nastigo or Bo too much credit, but if you followed his story from before, he had that one match last year, or at the beginning of last year, with Khan for that belt, and Khan beat him, and then he put the work in. He looked like a different guy in that second match. You could tell he had leaned out and really put some work in and took the belt, and then he just been beating people.
I love that match. Yeah. That match is one of my favorites, and it had a total like Brock Lesnar Undertaker feel to it, because when Bo Amir beat Khan, like it was just
there was
yeah.
I was one of the people. There was a gasp.
You didn't hear Tommy. So
speaking of people that were there. Speaking of people that were there for Lesnar Undertaker when the streak was broken, Tommy was there for that too. Yeah, so
obviously Undertaker and Brock is a big thing, but it felt like that because the crowd was just like, wait, was that supposed to happen? Whatever.
It did have that moment. It did have that feel to it, like what?
Yeah.
Now on top of all this, you are going to be having a costume contest. You did announce that, correct? Yeah. So.
And I'm actually giving out money from my own wallet to the first, second, and third place people.
How much wrestling has changed, huh, Tommy? You look shocked.
Since what?
Yeah, man. The winner gets $50.
Yeah. Second place is $25, and third place is $10.
Yeah.
So
Brandon Oliver giving out money. Nope. Okay, 2024 is the weirdest year of my life because
man,
where's my bingo card? Because that wasn't on there either.
First of all, who is judging the contest?
So our GMs are gonna judge.
Oh no, this is gonna be
all right. Now you said there's no theme on the flyer, but is there a certain theme that might push you into getting more noticed?
Well, naturally, it's a wrestling show.
Okay,
wrestling costumes would always do well, but there's no theme. If you got a badass costume, bring it and wear it.
Nice.
Just keep it family friendly.
Wow, Nastico. He's got a question for you. Apparently,
What
I got it.
Oh, you got it. Okay, I'll put it. Here we go.
Yeah.
What would it take for you to shave that beard, Brendan Oliver?
Honestly, Nastico, I don't know, man. I'm the new Santa Claus, basically, and so I'm digging it.
For Nastico, what would it take for him to buy an actual good suit? You don't talk about other people how they look.
Come on, he. Those Rouse suits are not bad. All right, you get a good deal at Rouse.
Well, they get worse when he wears them.
Yeah.
Well, he doesn't wash them or dry clean them. So
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
All right. You. By the way, you did mention Moose being there at last show. TNA was in town that weekend. That was the first time they had been in town since was it lockdown 2013 where they had a pay-per-view.
Mm-hmm.
With the success of that, and I pushed for this after that road. Could we get a Bound for Glory in San Antonio? You think TNA would be looking at that, possibly?
So let me interrupt you.
Uh-huh.
TNA's actually come here 2 other times because I co-promoted those shows with TNA.
Pay-per-view events?
I completely
Yes.
forgot about those.
Did
I
they?
completely forgot about those.
They were good
Yeah.
shows. Now they were on, a period of TNA where they were, kind of being forgotten about a little bit. But I mean,
Yeah.
now that they got the whole burst of energy from NXT and just a renewed way of doing things. But yeah, they have been here before. But from what I understand, I mean, San Antonio showed out. And the Techport is a beautiful arena, and it's perfect. It's a perfect size for like TNA, NXT, you know what I mean? Like those types of crowds. And I mean, San Antonio showed up and showed out. So, everybody knows San Antonio is a wrestling city. Like,
Yes.
even people in the business know San Antonio is a wrestling city. And so, I have no doubt that they'll be back. And they'll, could be another big pay-per-view. I think you said Bound for Glory. Maybe.
That would be my dream for them to bring Bound for Glory here. It's their biggest event of the year. We're going to be talking about that next week for this year, but I would love for them to bring Bound for Glory to San Antonio. I know that would be awesome.
Yeah.
So, Nastico asked, who are the top 5 best managers in RCW history? I'm going to throw it out there that my wife was a manager once. So she's probably top 5. So she was, for Mercedes Martinez and Alyssa Flash. So I'm just going to throw that out there. She was a manager.
Technically, I would say Jeremy Sage was number 1. Just
Yeah. I mean, of course, there's J-Wave right now. I'm trying to think about like the history of.
Yeah, that's a lot of years to go through.
I mean, it is a lot. I'd say the best manager of all time in RCW was Boom Boom, though.
Yeah. I think so.
Mean, yeah.
What was the group? Oh God, what was the name of it? God, it was you, Dalton Spector.
Oh, the Hard Bodies?
Hard Bodies. There it is. Yes.
Oh,
Yeah. Classic for sure. So,
hold on, Nastico. How many places are you banned from? Why is this the only place you can be seen?
Yeah.
Because
Voice,
even though he started in the DFW area, they hate his ass up there too.
Yeah.
Ray the Voice. Terry said it.
Yeah.
I agree.
It'll be good to see Ray the Voice on Saturday, man. At
Yeah,
the owners.
for
That's
sure.
really cool.
Logan Pettis. Yeah.
All right. So big weekend for RCW. RCW honors Saturday, October 19th at 1 p.m. Central Time. Tommy, it starts at noon. At Rolling Oaks Mall. This is a free event. Where in Rolling Oaks is it? What was it, by the Rolls?
By Rouse, it's right.
Big thanks to Raoul Sports Store. They're taking care of a lot of this, and so
All right.
big ups to them. They brought in Jimmy Hart last week too.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah. And then on Sunday, RCW in Our House 2 at 5 p.m. Central Time. Doors are opening at 4 at the Grand Event Center in San Antonio, Texas. Are there any tickets left?
There are some, yeah.
Okay.
So better jump on it.
Well, there are some for now. I think payday was yesterday, so
15th of the month, man.
Yeah.
Goes around.
If it sells out, which it probably will, you can also watch it on Title Match Network Which, by the way, I think they're doing a promotion, 25% off for new subscribers.
Yeah.
So if you haven't gotten on Title Match, jump on that.
By the way, that is something that you didn't mention, Brandon, that no one can deny about RCW shows. The number of times you sell out the shows. For no matter what people say, no matter what, it's like, oh, this is about RCW, that. The number of times you actually sell out an event is insane. So
yeah, we've come a long way from being able to text you how many tickets we need, Brandon.
Yeah.
Well, I think someone's trying to get back in the building for Sunday.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I mean, that's a really good problem to have is to sell out. I mean, and I don't want to make it sound like, oh man, brother, we sold out the Frost Bank. I mean, they're intimate venues, but still, compared to a lot of independents throughout the years, I mean, that's really cool. I mean, I've had RCW shows sell out like a month before the show even happens.
Mm-hmm.
That's where you announce half the card.
Yeah. And so that's really cool, man. I'm honored. And, Tommy, you don't need to add an asterisk, man. Who cares what everybody else says?
Yeah.
Well, you know me. I like to cause trouble.
I know you do. You just got to move forward, brother. That's it.
That's true. Fair enough.
One final question as a parent, as somebody who has a daughter 3 or 4 years away from high school, what is the going rate on a homecoming mom? Because I'm seeing how much bigger they're getting. I just want to know how much I need to save for that.
Dude, I'm in the wrong business.
You're not wrong.
I mean, they're like $50. I mean, there's some for like 30.
Yeah.
Like that's like a basic starter, little tiny mom.
Yeah.
But then they go, I mean, now they're like $100-$150 for like big giant mums. It's
I think the farther north you go in Texas, the bigger the mom, like bigger than the kids themselves.
The bigger a vehicle you need to bring them in. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So crazy.
Yeah.
So well, Brandon, thank you. This has been awesome to have you back on the show.
For sure.
Congrats again on all your success.
Thank
And you say you don't know where you'd be with wrestling. How much longer do you see yourself doing this?
I'm actually going through life changes right now. And so, next year we might not do as many shows because of those life changes. But I don't see myself ever stopping. There's just no reason for me to. And like I said, right now, Texas wrestling offers so much. There's so many great talent. I mean, there's so many talents haven't even been on an RCW show yet that I'm like, man, when a spot opens up, I'm bringing that guy in.
A lot of them probably want to be on an RCW show too.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So. I mean, I was frothing at the mouth to get Brick Savage on the show, so it's really cool, man. It's a really cool experience to have that longevity. And like I said, there's a little bit of a life change, next year that may take some shows off. But the other thing I want to stress too is RCW is not about me. I mean, I wear this, RCW shirts, but I've learned that it's the team around me. And so, Melanie Gonzalez, she's the production manager. Texas Treats and Sho Funaki are the agents. Luke Hawkins with I Shoot Wrestling, he does the production. Everybody has like assigned duties now, and they just need to report back to me, right? Yeah. And so having that ability, having that team is phenomenal. And I mean, I'll be honest, the past couple of years of RCW have been the most fun. And so, I'm enjoying it.
Last question. Down the road, would you ever let your daughter take over the business?
No.
I figured that was the answer.
This girl's getting, offers from Tech and UT and A&M and Houston, and even looking at MIT.
I'm
insane, by the way.
I'm hopeful. I wish her the best with the MIT, and just whatever happens. My long shots goal for me when I applied was Rice, and I made it to the final cut and didn't get it. So it was, but that just to get to that point, I felt was an accomplishment. So,
yeah.
But yeah, MIT would be amazing. I wish her the best, and I wish your checkbook the best. I would understand wherever she goes to college, her ticket prices have to go up to help pay for that. So yeah,
weird. Ringside is $1,000 now.
RCW Gold package.
Yeah.
But
Thank
super
you.
Proud. Super proud of it.
Yeah. Super proud of that. Super proud of you. Super proud of wrestling. And thank you again for thinking of Tommy and thinking of the fans with the Fan Appreciation Award, RCW Honors. Looking forward to seeing how that all goes down
All right.
Saturday for sure.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you again, Brandon.
Thanks, Brandon. Appreciate it.
This weekend.
Have a good one.
You too.
You too.
Wow.
Okay. I'm not going to lie. That was fun. I didn't think he was going to go longer than the treats.
No, but it's a testament to how much RCW has,
Yeah,
it is for sure. So
that is like 20 years he was recapping in his mind just now. Well, 22.
Yeah.
22.
Pretty awesome stuff. So a big weekend for RCW. I kind of like the little Hall of Fame weekend that they have. So thank you again, Brandon, for joining us.
For sure.
I forgot to ask him for a score update. But anyway,
so production meeting on the air. Should we push WrestleDream back to next week?
We can talk WrestleDream next week. Let's talk a bit about United210. Because that is happening on Friday. Mike, you want to go over the card?
I'll kind of go through kind of quick. It looks like there's about 9 matches. But one thing I do want to point out that I think is pretty cool, they're giving out the first Corazon de Leon award to Buzzsaw Samuels. If you're familiar in the indie scene, Buzzsaw has had to deal with some. He's allowed.
He's allowed.
He had to deal with some medical issues this past year, and so he's been fighting and dealing with that. So they mentioned they're giving out that award, which I think is really cool. Just kind of going over because it's about a 9 to 10 card match. As of last I've seen, Hit will be there. They have not announced a match or anything, but he's supposed to be in action. So unless that's changed recently, Hit will be there. They're, like we said, big guys, got great size, movement, really looking to make an impact this year. We have Alex Arsenal versus the King Cobra. If you followed United210 social media, they've done some promos. Alex got apparently attacked at a Gold's Gym that I assume he works at. So that should be interesting. We have Animo and Jesse Funaki, who we were just talking about, in a tag team against Toxic Tour, which is Pac Ortega with the eraser haircut, and Prince Lai, who I'm not as familiar with.
Me neither.
But they will be accompanied by Rilo King, who we do know.
That sounds so weird, but okay.
And who's not great at Riot Control, despite his moniker.
Yep.
I wonder if Tommy will have his RCWO shirt still.
I gotta find that. I don't even know where it is.
That's guys. Imagine Bowman versus Funaki Senior.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. What else we got? The Heritage 210 titles on the line. The new champion Danny Orion versus Epidemius Jr. Epidemius, one of the favorites there at the Yard. Obviously a big loved luchador. So that should be fun. Even though at RCW he's in that match with the Treats, Diego Rene will be defending his RCW International title at the Yard against Vintage Danny Vintage. Danny Vintage has recently come back from an injury that kept him out for a good part of a year.
Yeah.
And he's been about the last month kind of getting back in the show. So big match for him. If you haven't seen him, he does employ a very dastardly foreign object known as the big TV remote that can pause the match.
That's dangerous.
So that's very dangerous. What else we got? We have I believe for the tag team titles, or no, it's a non-title match. I think they have to earn it again. But the 8th day, the tag team champions who Tommy is still trying to find out what their religion's about.
I'm still upset. They won't tell me.
Okay, Nestico actually.
Oh wow, Nestico with helpful information.
Right, Prince Lies from Lions Pride. Okay, I do know that. We remember Houston Carson from back.
That's a name I haven't heard in a long time. Yeah,
I miss Houston Carson wrestling, dude. He was so good.
But I have heard about Lions Pride guys, so some more people trained up there.
I've been to a few of their shows. The shows are super fun.
Yeah. But 8th Day will be in a match against Living in Fashion, but I don't think the title's on the line in this one. I think 8th Day said they have to earn a chance again because they had lost them and lost the rematch before.
So is that how their religion works?
I don't know. Okay. What else do we got? We've got one that I'm really looking forward to: Chase Owens versus Casey Blackrose. That's going to be a hell of a match. Casey, who, like we just mentioned, is on a hot streak, could really, make a signature win by beating Chase Owens. So really looking forward to that. Tommy's favorite, Calientita, will be taking on Ready Player One, Vert Vixen.
Now that I'm okay with.
Another Texas person who's done a lot of good things, been to AEW, been to Japan, making a big name for herself.
Vert's been killing it for years.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then we have a tag team casket match, which should be interesting, which is the Texas Treats, but it is going to be Don Juan and Marvel versus the Texas Kingdom, Stash and Rob Love. I don't know. That sounds like it could be the main event, although the last match is the United210 title match, which is the champion, the world's biggest Mexican, Little Evil, versus Angel Camacho in an I Quit match. What's up, Casey? We were just talking about you.
Yeah.
If you were listening, your big match against Chase Owens at United210. We want to see you get that pin, break his back a few times, and beat a member of Bullet Club and fake champ.
Wow.
Nasco, I don't know if you want to talk trash about the world's biggest Mexican. He towers over you, and I don't know if you want to talk about Little Evil like that.
Fake champ.
Just saying. Funny. But yeah, so that's quite a show. And again, if you've never been to the Yard, it is an experience. It is fun. It's a great atmosphere. Yes, it is literally in someone's backyard, as we've talked about, but it is a hell of a scene. So
kind of the fun of it, right? So yeah, for sure. Yeah, United210, Go United Go, Friday, October 18th, 7:30 p.m. Central Time. Doors at 6:30 at the Yard, 1003 Macaulay Avenue. Adult tickets are $10 and kids 12 and under are free. Bring your own chair. BYOB, if I'm not mistaken, too. They might have some food trucks out there as well. So
I know we're kind of running late in the show, but we wanted to share something.
Yes.
Do we want to do that now?
Yes, kind of coincides with our 1 minute warning here as well. So
this, unfortunately, is going to be about a 10-minute warning.
Okay.
But do you want me to do it, or do you want to do it?
Yeah, you know where it's stored, I think. So,
okay.
Yeah.
So we put something together, and hopefully this particular music doesn't get us. Okay, Tommy, I need you to do something for me.
Okay.
I need you to take your headphones off and close your eyes for 5 seconds. Hold on. Okay, take them off. Close your eyes. Okay, hold on. Hopefully we can do this quickly enough.
Okay.
All right.
Good?
Yeah.
All right. Tommy, this is you. So enjoy, everybody. I'm going to go ahead and play this, and then, yeah.
Have at it.
What's up, Tommy? It's Jesse Funaki. I just want to thank you so much and congratulate you on being inducted into the RCW honors this weekend. Thank you for all your contributions to San Antonio, Texas, and wrestling. I just want to thank you so much for being so supportive since day one for me. I love you so much, and I thank you for everything.
Congratulations, Tommy, into getting inducted into the RCW honors. That is probably the coolest thing I ever heard in my life. I still remember the first day when I started wrestling, and you were in the crowd, losing your mind, going, screaming the entire time. So it's always cool to see a fan like you get the appreciation that you solely deserve. So congratulations, man, and have a good day.
Tommy, next Saturday you'll be inducted into the RCW honors. Thank you for being the person that you are. Every time I think I'm going through something bad, I just hear your support, your voice being the loudest one pushing me through. And remember, con ánimo, gritamos, con ánimo, vivimos, y con ánimo, luchamos.
Out of all the people to be inducted into the RCW honors, it's the loudest one, the most obnoxious one, and the most annoying one. Tommy, I guess this is a congratulations for paying the most money to being every show at RCW.
Yeah.
Tommy, the bird-headed bald buzzard. Congratulations, congratulatory thanks, and introductions to the RCW World Honors. If it wasn't for me, you would have never made it this far, and you're very welcome. But overall, congrats. Rest up and honored and treasured for that taking spot from you.
Hey, Tommy, big congrats. You went from everyone hearing you to everyone seeing you. Congrats to my favorite Power Ranger, Tommy. This one's for you.
Oh, Secret of the Ooze.
Hey Tommy, it's Gia. Just want to say thank you for everything. You're one of the best fans out there, one of the best fans at RCW. Congratulations.
Hi, it's Sakai living here, and I want to personally say congratulations to Tommy. You deserve it. Well, kind of.
What's up, Tommy? It's old Stud Stash from the South Side. I just want to send a special shout out to you, congratulating you on being inducted to the RCW honors. That's a big thing, man. And obviously, you've been around longer than me. You know, you're an awesome fan. In fact, a #1 fan probably here in San Antonio, brother. And just from me to you, congratulations, Papa.
Hey Tommy, it's the main attraction, Devin Carter, and I just want to say a huge congratulations to you for getting into the RCW honors this year. You don't know how much you mean to so many wrestlers' careers, including my own, when I was able to share the seats with you as a fan, then you to watch me to become a manager, to a wrestler, to a champion, and now a friend. So thank you so much for all the great memories that we have together, and I can't wait to make more.
Tommy, I went from being your biggest hater to being your biggest fan. Thanks for flocking laugh for always supporting me. I'm glad you made it into RCW honors, and I know that you're a gift to be around.
That was great. That was a great way to say that.
Why? Congratulations, Tommy. I couldn't have said it better than Brandon. I really couldn't. Good job. Why?
Hey Tommy, Special Pro Wrestling Champion here, Izzy Moreno, and I just wanted to congratulate you on being inducted into the RCW honors. And let me just say this, you are an amazing BFF, and I'm so excited and so proud of you. You definitely deserve this, and I cannot wait to see you so soon. Bye!
Hello, Tommy Loudmouth. It's the sensational savage, Ridley Thorne.
And me, Celine.
And we just wish we could say congratulations for being RCW's biggest mark in history. But actually, you know what? That does deserve a congratulations, because it really takes a lot of effort to be as loud and obnoxious as you are. And you can bet we're going to be at that induction heckling you the entire time and not letting you get a word in, because that's exactly what you do to us at every single show.
It's kind of fair.
Yeah, so this is just...
You good?
Congratulations. I can't even take it.
I think that's it.
You know what? I'll never forget the first time I heard that loud, annoying voice when I was at RCW. 13 years ago, this guy was heckling me from the crowd. And you know what? I asked him if he wanted to go camping, and it shut him up. And now here we are, 13 13 years later, forget my hands. And he's still a major part of every crowd I'm in. And you know what? As annoying as Tommy can be, you gotta admire that passion and that love for the sport. So Tommy, congratulations for making to the RCW honors. If anybody deserves it, I guess it's you.
Tommy, this is officially the best interaction we've ever had. I talk, and you don't. You hear that? The silence is golden, kind of like my RCW International Championship. Incidentally, which is going to land me a spot at the RCW Honors. Oh, I guess I got to say something nice. Okay, congrats on beating me there first. I guess that's good. And another thing, I'm the best!
Hola, Tommy. Muchas felicidades on finally accomplishing something in your life after 60 years. I mean, I guess that big mouth finally got you something, right? So hopefully now that you accomplished something, you could stop talking and bothering fans all the time, but mostly bothering me and making my life terrible. So enjoy your one day of actually accomplishing something. It's the only thing you're getting.
What's up, Tommy? It's the babyface backbreaker, Casey Black Girls, and I want to congratulate you on your introduction into the RCW Honors. Thank you for counting every single backbreaker that I do all over Texas. You've really helped me grow in this business, and I want to say thank you, and I'm sure I'll be there when you get introduced. Thank you.
Tommy, I wish I could tell you how much I hate you, but I gave my life to the Lord in 2015. So I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to describe my feelings to you through Scripture. 2 Corinthians 12:7. Therefore, in order to keep me from becoming conceited, I was given a thorn in my flesh, a messenger of Satan to torment me. And you have been tormenting me the past 20 years. But I guess I would have to say thank you for keeping me from being conceited. Thank you for actually being good at something. And I hope you enjoy your time. I hope you enjoy your celebration, because besides on your birthday, I can't do this without being mean. I'm sorry. Congratulations. I gotta go.
Wow.
Wow. Ah, man. I can't believe he used the Bible on me. That's messed up. But wow. I don't even know what to say. I'm legit speechless. That was really cool.
You don't ever hear a lot about companies appreciating fans in this way. Thank you, RCW, for doing that. And some assholes earlier in the chat while Brandon was here put a couple messages about us being fans. Always talk about consoles. You know what? You like what you like. You love what you love. Tommy, you love wrestling.
Yeah.
That's just what it was. Yeah.
You can't waste your time going into someone else's video to comment you like this too much and call us losers.
Yeah.
What are you doing with your life?
Anyway, I'm gonna let that take away from this. Like, Mike, I know you were putting all this together, and that was you were sending us proofs. I didn't want to watch it. I wanted to be surprised with it. So yeah, that was really awesome. And
we will be uploading that to our socials. Soon, so everybody can.
Yeah, because I gotta send that to my family. That's.
I also had to deep dive into your Facebook, and Jesus, I'm sorry, I don't want to take the Lord's name in vain. Your Facebook photos scroll on for like 3 years.
Yeah, I know.
Speaking of Casey,
jeez, man,
Hope of Glory, that tiny church.
Yeah.
Did you also check his MySpace? He might have had some old ones.
Oh, dude, my MySpace got plenty on there.
Tommy, I mentioned earlier my first ever show I'd been to.
Ray! What's up, Ray?
Ray, what's up, man? Ray? I'm hoping I can make it out there. Just if you're in town this weekend, if you want to come, I'll send you a text or whatever. Although I don't know if I'm playing you in fantasy this week, but yeah, great to see you on here, Ray.
Yeah, Ray.
Tommy, earlier, my first independent show ever was that Texas Explosion Royal Rumble weekend, 2007, Bel Air Baptist Church.
Man, who was even
And
on that show? I can't remember anymore.
I remember LAX was on it.
Treats were on it.
Treats were on it. I mean,
Ikaika, I believe, was on it. I think it's the first
Ikaika
time
was the champion at the time, if I'm not mistaken.
He sure was. You're
Mike
sure right
Dell
about
with the football.
Yeah.
But I mentioned, the first match I ever saw, Gemini's Chop had me hooked. But you don't forget a voice like Tommy's. And it's not just because you were just into it. Like, as much as they say there's some fans out there that are trying to make themselves too much of the show. You don't do that. Like, you're paying attention to what is going on, and your responses are witty. You cheer for your heels. They could be Bayfors or heels. If you hate them, you hate them, and that's just great. You do your thing. But I went from there. Went to so many shows, other promotions, and you were there, and that was really cool. And we started the WrestleCast over 6 years ago.
Yeah.
It was kind of it was myself, Tina, Ted was going to come film it, and we were like, Mike, you weren't available yet, but I was like, hey, Tommy, we're going to start this. Do you want to it was literally that day. Do you want to come over and let's film this? He's like, yeah. And the rest is history. Yeah. So, it's awesome to see a fan and get appreciated in this way. And, dude, you're younger than me. You still got plenty more years, I hope, of watching this. So, so.
And I do want to throw this out a little behind the scenes without giving away names. I went to Hybrid last week to get those clips. And we've joked about how part of the training at Hybrid is like having, speakers of Tommy or whatever. But I will tell you, from someone who helps with the training, you are mentioned as, when you're trying to work a crowd, look for Tommy, look for some kids. And so you are literally.
I can't compete with kids, but I'm glad I was at least in that standing. So
yeah. So
Dr. The Wife, what's up?
Dr. The Wife, thank you so much. Thanks, Ted and Terry.
Ray, again, miss you. Yeah, for sure.
Ray, we totally miss you. And Terry, doing those commentaries for BOW, man. I'm surprised we ever got through a show, because we just ended up cracking jokes for like 10 minutes. So so. Oh man, that's a best surprise. That was really cool. Wow.
And I don't know if this will be mentioned, but you've done a lot in wrestling, not just as a fan. You the first time I saw you ring announce, I think you did a ring announcing at RCW just for a match. Like, there was one of those fans do the ring announcing.
Yeah.
And you got in there and just fucking killed it. You've done that. You've done commentary. You've been involved with so much with wrestling in this city. And they say San Antonio is a wrestling town. You're a big reason why. I'm just going to say it that much. So thank you.
Man.
Thank you.
Jeez.
So
started the group Bring RCW to San Antonio. I mean, ROH to San Antonio.
Yes, you single-handedly brought that promotion here for sure.
I was.
If you were not hounding Todd Sinclair for all those years, decades, however long it took, we might never have had ROH in San Antonio for sure. So
also, and I've said this on the show to Tommy before, because we've talked about all the shows we used to go to years ago. But JC knows this, and we'd see you sometimes. I was always a pretty reserved, quiet. I didn't interact with the people to nearly the extent that you guys did. But this last turnaround, last couple of years, going to Mission Pro, and being at the shows with you, it definitely helped me be more outgoing. And now we're friends with everybody. Yeah. Now we're all big parts of this wrestling community, and it wouldn't have got sparked or started again without you being there and being the person who literally knows everybody and has to go make rounds when you show up at a wrestling show. Me and Jason are sitting there like, hey, we got to see Tom. You're like, I'll be right there.
Yeah,
you got to go.
Honestly, I feel weird if I don't, especially like at Hybrid or Mission Pro. I feel like if I don't go say hi to certain people, it's like disrespectful. So
Marvel trained you a little bit, didn't he?
A little bit. I was his first student.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? I just didn't pay him. Don't tell him.
He knows.
Yeah, he does.
He's going to take it out on Saturday. Don't worry.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
That's when the cash app's going to come in.
Yeah. Well, thank you everybody for joining us. Thank you again to Brandon Oliver.
Wow.
Again, United 210 is Friday, October 18th, 7:30 p.m. Central Time at the Yard. RCW Honors is Saturday at 1 p.m. at Rolling Oaks Mall as a free event. Along with Tommy getting the Fan Appreciation Award, Jeremy Sage, Alex Morosos, the late Michael Faith, and Shiva will be receiving their induction to RCW Honors. And then RCW in our house too. Sunday, October 20th, 6 p.m. Central Time at the Grand Event Center. And it is also going to be on TitleMatchNetwork.com, which again, 25% off if you're a new subscriber. They have that promotion going right now. So,
which means use a different email, people.
Yeah, exactly. We were going to talk about WrestleDream, but I mean, we had so much to do. We're going to recap it. I mean, it gives you a chance. If you haven't seen it yet, get on a Triller TV, go watch it. I got it, and I didn't get to see it live, but I got it and went straight to the main event to see how the finish was. And let me tell you, that alone is.
I may need another week still to process that anyway. So
we'll talk about that next week. We'll recap what's going to be happening this weekend with Hybrid RCW, United 210 and RCW. Next week we'll talk about that Hybrid Experience show, and we're also going to preview Tina at Bound for Glory and NXT Halloween Havoc, which are both taking. Yeah,
I love that there is just too much wrestling.
It's a great time to be a wrestling fan. It really is. It really is. So
there's so much. Oh, and before we go, shout out to Zack Sabre Jr. He won the IWGP World Championship.
Oh,
really?
Interesting.
He beat Naito.
Wow.
I know there was a whole thing about him cashing in before Tokyo Dome show. So
he's going back to England with it. And if all goes well, he will be main eventing the Tokyo Dome.
Wasn't there an announcement that a certain wrestler is going to be retiring after Wrestle Kingdom 2026?
You're right.
Yes.
Hiroshi Tanahashi is hanging up his boots.
Yes. Got a little over a year left with him. So
no, the air guitar is always staying.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if he had it.
Wrestle Kingdom 2026 will be his last event in the ring. So he made that announcement. Yeah, I did see that. So yeah, cooler weather for sure. It's great that this front came in, but bring a jacket if you're going to United 210 for sure. So,
for sure.
Yeah. Terry, I announced when you were right.
he would do that sometimes.
He would for sure. So, thank you everybody for joining us. Tommy, enjoy the weekend, man.
Thanks, man.
I'm not going to ask for a speech because I'm sure you're thinking about one for Saturday. So just enjoy it.
Yeah, it's. Oh man, now I'm super emotional. Oh my god, it's gonna be crazy.
I do want to over under on what's going to be longer, his speech or when he used to talk about New Japan.
That's close.
Get me in the show now. Dude.
Well, what's going to be longer, Marvel's introduction speech or Tim Duncan's jersey retirement? That's
That's great.
Yes.
All right, we're done.
Over here, we got Tommy.
Thanks, guys.
We got Big Mike.
Thanks, guys. Be good to each other.
And I'm JC. As always, heels and babyfaces, remember, pro wrestling is real.
People are fake. Reach for the sky, boy.
See you next week, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.